So I want to talk about non-bank lenders and how we should look at them. I would not look at them using mortgage-backed security prices because those are falling. I would not look at them using their warehouse credit facility levels because those are awful because they're getting margin calls and their costs of borrowing is going up. I will not look at the stock price because that looks awful too. I will not look at their revenues and profitability because those are going down the toilet and they're looking awful. I will look at their advertising because their advertising is horrific. I'm telling you right now, it is horrific what they're doing. They're going back to 2006. They are actively going after minorities, veterans, pushing arms. They're ballooning, pushing exotic mortgages, like 3-2-1s, 2-1 buy downs. Try to sell people on refinancing in the future. Don't worry, home prices are only going to go up. Um, yeah, it's scary. And I want people to know that I've been warning about non-bank lenders for a long time, um, and they are in trouble. They're in trouble of bankruptcy. So you have to look at their interest. They're trying to keep the lights on. So they're gonna start doing some crazy stuff to keep the lights on. And you don't have to look very far to see how far they will go to keep the lights on. Look at Canada. Canada is currently being rocked by a scandal where some lenders were caught on video receiving bribes, uh, making up fraudulent income documentation, making up stuff for people to qualify for mortgages. And Canada actually has standards. They're very well regulated, but because they're having issues, they're just like us. Their lenders, their non-bank lenders, are you know skirting the rules, breaking them, throwing them out the window. So uh, be careful. Be very very careful. We're going back to 2006. The means justify the ends. Uh, but hey, it's a scary moment when you see this kind of stuff. Non-bank lenders, unfortunately, are not very well regulated in this country. They're not regulated like a bank because they're not a bank. They don't have deposits, so none of the banking rules apply to them. None of the federal rules like Dodd-Frank um, actually can control them. They're technically regulated by states. Yeah, states. They don't have the resources, they don't have the manpower, they don't have the expertise to regulate them, and they can't do audits. They can't go in there and verify things. So yeah, it's scary. If people believe that we can't have a GFC event, well, I'm sorry. It's starting to look like it. Uh, if you look at sales numbers from September, we are now looking at 4.8 million homes being sold at an annualized rate based on September sales. To put that into context, we were selling about 4.2 to 4.3 million homes in 2008 and 2009. NAR, the National Association of Realtors, Fannie Mae, they all came out with projections 6 months ago saying, "Oh, don't worry, we're going to sell at 5.8 million homes." 5.8, 4.8, yeah, million homes difference. Right now, if you look at new mortgage applications, we are at 1997 levels, and in 1997 levels, that means we were selling about 4.4 million homes. So right there with 2008, 2009 levels. Uh, and in the near future, we're looking at two more rate hikes at least that we are pretty much sure about. Two of 75 basis points, so that's 150 basis points. So that means interest rates will be in the 8 to 9%. I don't think people are going to be lining up for a mortgage, even if you fake their documents. So be careful. If you're thinking about buying a home, I would say wait. See if we have a GFC or not a GFC. Wait for a little bit of clarity if we're going to have a deep recession or not. Make sure that you have secure wages and secure jobs before making a big jump on buying a home, because homes can come down in price. You can get underwater. It has happened before. It can happen again, and the signs are pointing there. So be very, very careful. And you non-bank lenders, please, please stop. I'm hoping you guys are not going full-blown '06. Forget about it. Just make the money, keep the lights on. No, sorry, it's just that's not right. Uh, you guys were fine when the Fed was buying 130 billion a month in mortgage-backed securities. Now you're not, because the Fed, for the first time in 14 years, is not buying mortgage-backed securities. That's a major shift. You guys are in trouble. I'm sorry, but you're in trouble. But it doesn't mean because you guys are going under that you have to take everybody else with you. So I'm hoping you guys are not throwing your standards out of the window. Anything goes to make a buck. So let's hope for the best, plan for the worst.